Hi guys, so this next video we're gonna do a NFL mock draft. So start out first overall pick. We got the Panthers. They could use a cornerback and an edge rusher, but I feel like we should get some more weapons for Bryce Young because they had used some draft picks and some guys, but Thielen's getting up there. He's only have 1 year left, and so he probably will be gone after this upcoming season. And then Johnson, he's not a great number one. So try to get a true number one to pair with legit and get. So let's give him Luther Burden from Missouri. Patriots. I feel like they could have used Burden, but now that he's gone, like I feel like it's a little early for McMillan. So I don't think they'll take wide receiver. But I do think they're not taking edge rusher, so I'll go with James Pierce Jr. from Tennessee because I think they could use some help at edge because I feel like again, who knows if Judon's gonna be leaving. Like, yeah, like it's you don't really need cornerback help. It's a little early for the first tackle, so I don't go Pierce. Got the Broncos next. Even if they're not picking the side, which means obviously means Bo Nix didn't have a great rookie year, but they're not. I don't think they're gonna move on from him this early. So I'm gonna try to help the team. I'm gonna try to draft a new quarterback. So I'm gonna try to help them pair up Patrick Surtain with another elite corner, and Lil Johnson for Michigan. I think that pairing could be really good. Next, you got the Commanders. Another thing, they're not going to be taking quarterback already. They just drafted Jaden Daniels. They're not. It's way too early taking our quarterback, obviously, if they are picking this high. Yeah. You know what I'm going to go? So, yeah, I think with this pick, I'm going to go with the first tackle off the board. Just like, there's certain tackles right now. You got Brandon Coleman, who was a third round pick this past year, but still, in the right tackle, you've got Andrew Wiley, who can definitely get a lot better out of it. So, I don't take tackle from LSU, Will Campbell. Next, you get the Titans. If they're picking this high, this more likely than not means Will Levis did not have a very good year, and like he was a second round pick, so they had the first round pick to help them stick with them. So I think they'll probably take a quarterback if they're picking this high. So I'm gonna go with Carson Beck, quarterback from Georgia. Then you got the Giants, another team like they're picking this high. This means Johnson have a good year. So I think they could use another quarterback, excuse me. I feel like they could also use another help, but I feel like they need a quarterback. Jones doesn't do have a good year. So I'm going to take Shedeur Sanders, quarterback from Colorado. Then you get the Raiders. Sadly, I think this is a little too early for the next quarterback. I feel like it's a little early for guys like Ewers and Milrow. So hopefully they're not doing a second round in this draft, but like in real life, this does happen. Quarterback will like there could be quarterbacks that come out of nowhere. That seems to happen every year. But for me right now, it's too early for another quarterback. It's like their defense is not the greatest. Like they got Max Crosby, and that's really about it. They're like so it's like they're gonna try to help that defense, and maybe even help out their wide receiver group because they got Devontae Adams and Jacoby Myers, decent, two good wide receivers. But who knows how much longer Adams will be around with their back quarterback play. So I'm gonna help out the cornerbacks and the wide receiver a little bit. Travis Hunter. Cardinals, you need defensive line help. So I'm gonna give them Mason Graham help out the defensive line because that defensive line is not it's not that good. Hopefully that'll help. Next we got the Vikings. Man, I would have loved for Travis Hunter to be here just because they need cornerback help. They could use an extra receiver. She knows what's going to happen with Addison with the suspension, so they could use the extra receiver. But with him gone, I'm still going to go cornerback. I'm going to take Benjamin Morrison. Benjamin Morrison, cornerback from Notre Dame. And you also got to remember, Byron Murphy is a free agent after the season, so I want them to bring him back, but they might not. So we'll see what happens. Saints, they they could use another quarterback. I mean, a quarterback. I, I kind of feel like it's a little early, but like they need to get an upgrade over um, J- um Carr, and like yeah, like they need a quarterback to get better than him. Like they drafted Spencer Rattler, they used a late round pick for a reason. Like they aren't expecting a ton from him, so I think they'll take a quarterback. I think I'm gonna go Quinn Ewers. He's my number three as of right now, so I'll go him. Nice to get the Seahawks. Um, they don't need a wide receiver, assuming they keep Metcalf and Lockett. I don't know, so I don't know really. But I feel like McMillan is falling a little bit, but I still feel like it's a little early. But I will go with another good player. I'm gonna go edge from Penn State, Abdul Carter. He's a good edge rusher. Both, and they don't have the greatest edge group. Like they have Under Williams, but he's getting up there. And Brian Murphy, the user first round pick on last year, is defensive tackle mainly. So I'm gonna go Abdul Carter. Next, you got the Colts. They aren't they got fine wide receivers, like they got Michael Pittman, Josh Downs, and A.D. Mitchell. So I don't really think they need a wide receiver. Think about it, they could use some help at guard. I feel like I think it's too early for the first guard off the board. But and I'll try to help. I'm gonna help their secondary a little bit. I don't get help try to get them upgraded safety. They can play a little corner if needed, and we'll get them Malachi Stark safety from Georgia. So next we got the Buccaneers on the clock, and then they tr- they traded Carlton Davis so they could use some corner help. I'm gonna get some try to help them get some quarterback help. I'm gonna draft Denzel Burke, cornerback from Ohio State. Next, you get the Steelers. They could have used a guy like Burke because their secondary's not that good, but he's gone obviously now. So I think Deion Walker's interesting, but they could release another receiver opposite of Pickens. They drafted Roman Wilson, but he's a rookie. He's unproven. He was only third round pick. So I'm gonna go Terrio McMillan and help out that wide receiver room and give Fields, whether it's Fields or Wilson, whoever's their quarterback after next year, their help. Some more weapons to McMillan. Next, you got the Chargers. They they got their tackles. They don't need that, but they still have um, Bosa and Mac. But like they restructured the deal, so it's like are they gonna still be there next year? And even then, Mac is getting up there. So I think I know I'll give them some defensive line help. I know draft them Nick Scorton, edge from Texas A&M, get them some more help. So now we get the Jaguars. Like tackles, consider like guys like Kevin Banks, Sherman Jones are. I mean, they're thinking about it, but I don't think they're gonna take a tackle because they have Robinson and Harrison, and they got Little behind them. So I think they're gonna try to get the help to that interior defense line. Like they brought in Everett, but he's getting up there. Then Damon Hamilton, he's not great, so they could get an upgrade there. So I'm gonna give them Deion Walker, defensive tackle from Kentucky. Now we got the Browns. I feel like, but if I feel like there's a good chance they'll take. I think they might take a tackle just because Jedrick Wills is a free agent. So it all depends on that. He has some injuries stuff, but it's kind of tough. I feel like they. I don't know. I'm gonna give him. Actually, I don't take him a tackle. Just I'm assuming Wills is gone and Cognizant of injuries too. So I'm gonna take him. Tackle from Texas, Calvin Banks. It never hurts to too much offensive line depth. They can always move them interior offensive line because Batonio is getting pretty old at this point. Now I get the Rams. Feels weird having them having two first round picks in a row because they had their first round pick last year. Now they have it again this year. I don't really know why it has RSU. It's just a big need because they have Puka Nakua and Cooper Cup. Like, isn't a huge thing need to have a good third round receiver. But it sounds like um, Stafford might be gone after this upcoming season. or they might only have him for 1 more year after that. Like he's getting up there, so I think they'll try to draft a quarterback in the future. Like sounds like they want Jimmy G as their quarterback if Stafford leaves next year. That's a bad decision. So I know drafting Jalen Moreau, quarterback from Alabama. Now we got the Jets. If Moreau was still here, I feel like I probably would take him just because Rodgers might still only play 1 more year, and even then he might not. He's probably not play much longer, so they could use a quarterback to replace him because they found out pretty quickly. Um, um, Zach Wilson is the guy, and he's gone, so they need a quarterback future. But I feel like it's too early for the next guy. So I'm gonna help out Rodgers. I'm gonna get him a new wide receiver. I'm gonna draft him wide receiver from Oregon, Evan Stewart, formerly of Texas A&M. He's a good wideout. I'm gonna get him help. He's opposite of Garrett Wilson. Now we got the Bears. I feel like this should be good this year, but I feel like the 20s is too lit. I feel like they're not going to get that close to the playoffs, if not make it. So, but just they are here. They really need some defensive line help. Like they got Montez Sweat, but outside of that, they don't have much. So I'm gonna give them help on the tier defensive line. I'm gonna give them defensive tackle from Georgia, Michael Williams. Now I got the Falcons. This draft, they actually know to help their team and right here and now. So I'm gonna. They still need edge help. Like there's a reason last year everybody was thinking they were not draft Dallas Turner, somebody on the defense line at pick 8, but they didn't. They drafted Penix. So I don't give them. I don't give them defense tackle Tyleek Williams just because they do have Jarrett who can play some defense tackle and edge, and the guy they brought in from the Saints last offseason. Can't blank on his name right now. But yeah, but like, Garrett's getting up there, so is the other guy. Like they're not, and they could use some extra depth because I feel like I'd rather take Williams over the next edge and Patrick Payton, so I'll do that. And you got the Dolphins. They extended to us. They don't need a quarterback. They just extended both Waddle and Hill. They're perfectly fine there. They don't need that. I feel like we could. I feel like we're trying. We should try to get the Dolphins a guy like George. I'm not saying this tight end is something as good as Kittle for the Niners, but like they had their head coach is used to the guy having like a like Kittle and San Fran. So I'm gonna try to keep him good at tight end. Like they never really had a good tight end in Miami since he got there. So I'm gonna give them Colston Loveland, tight end from Michigan, and like just make that offense even more elite than it already is. Then you got the Packers. Yeah, like they do have they don't have a ton of needs. Like I feel like they could use a corner, but I feel like I'd rather go defensive line. Like they got Kenny Clark, yes, but like Devontae White, who's a first round pick, one of the first round picks in 22, has not worked out at all. So I'm gonna give them some place, try to get a better guy. Opposite of Clark, I'm gonna give them defensive tackle from Michigan, Kenneth Grant. Now you got the Texans. I feel like they don't. They could use opposite edge, outside opposite of Will Anderson and Daniel Hunter. It's only have 1 year left, and like the San Fran always had great defensive line depth. So I feel like D'Amico Ryans could also like that. And so I'm gonna take Patrick Payton edge from Florida State. Now I got the Eagles. They could use a linebacker, but Riley Roseman never values linebackers, so I doubt that's gonna happen. So yeah, like I feel like I'm not gonna try to grab them some extra cornerback. Like yes, they got Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean last year, but he's still young, and then like Darius Slay's not gonna be there forever. Same with I can literally imagine his James Bradbury, but like they could use some extra help there. They can never help Sap extra cornerback help. So I'm gonna give them to Cario Davis from Arizona. Now I get the Cowboys. They could. I'm assuming they're no extend seat. Like they at Brandon Cooks, I think he's a free agent. Even then, he's getting a little up there. I think he's 30, 31. He's still pretty young considering he was drafted in 2014, but still, so I'm gonna give them extra wide receiver. It's like Tolbert and like other guys are unproven. So I'm gonna give them Emeka Ibuka, wide receiver from Ohio State. They could also use a running back, but I feel like they could use another wide receiver more. Now we got the Bills. They have Dan Dawkins, I feel they're fine there, but their right tackle, they could definitely stand to improve there. I feel they can improve the right tackle, and Spencer Brown, starting right tackle, is a free agent at the end of the year, so I feel like I feel like they can improve there. Maybe if they did bring back Brown, maybe a potential eventual replacement for Dawkins. So I'm gonna give them Evan Jones Tech from LSU. Like, this is a pretty good pick. Like he should have gone earlier. It's just like it's out of the board in the draft. Like good players fall sometimes, and that's just how it happened. Then we got the Bengals. Like they lost Mixon. Like this cast has some good running backs. Like they lost Joe Mixon. Like they don't have much proven guys at running back, like really good ones. So I'm gonna try to give him an upgrade at running back. And I'll give him Ollie Gordon the second. Ollie Gordon the second from Oklahoma State. Now you got the Lions. Like Harold Perkins is listed as linebacker here, but he can also play a lot of edge rusher. Like he can play edge. So I'll try. I think I'm gonna grab Harold Perkins and help out that edge and get him a guy opposite of Aiden Hutchinson that they don't really have right now. And now we got the Ravens. I feel like they could have used a tackle, but I feel like this might be. I think it's a little early for the next tackle. But I feel like they're always trying. They like Bateman has not been good for them. Like they got Zay Flowers. I feel like they're gonna try to get another guy opposite of him to help Demar out even more, get him better weapons. So I'm gonna give him right from Texas Isaiah Bond. Now we got the Niners. Their tier offensive line is not great. It's okay. It's not great. So I feel like they could use some improvements there. Yeah, like the guys they have it starting as their interior: Aaron Banks, Jake Brendel, and John Feliciano. They're fine starters, but Brendel and Feliciano are getting up there, so it can definitely stand to replace them. So I'm gonna give them Jonah Sevillania, interior offensive lineup from Arizona. Getting some help there. Now we get the last pick, first round. We got the Chiefs. They're a good team. Like they don't really have a ton of needs, but like they trade away Ladarius Sneed, so they still McDuffie, but they did trade him away. Could use another wide receiver maybe, but I feel like it's a little early for the next guy. So I'm gonna go Jamar Muhammad and get them some help in that secondary, which they really kind of need because they have some young improving guys that can start sometimes, but they don't have a ton outside Trent McDuffie. So yeah, there's a mock draft, guys. Yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Bye.